Hello and welcome to the 31st season of Sims 4 Survivor. This is Sims 4 Survivor Brindleton Bay, where we are going to be unsurprisingly playing in Brindleton Bay. We have here mostly a newbie cast. We do have 4 returning players. However, most of these returning players are people that you probably don't even remember. I tried to pick 4 players that didn't really stand out on their season. And they will be on par with the newbies. I'm not going to boost their stats or anything like that. So everybody just got the default stats. Anyway, let's just introduce our cast. First up, we have the Cats tribe, which I think the naming convention here should be pretty obvious. We will start off with our returning players. First up here, we have Danny Davila, who competed on Mount Komorebi, was an early boot there. And the main reason why I decided to bring them back is because I'm pretty sure I misgendered them throughout the entirety of Mount Komorebi. So right should be right. I am giving Danny a second chance here to compete and be correctly gendered throughout the season. Good luck, Danny. And then the other returnee here on this tribe is Daryl Charm, who was the first boot of Chestnut Ridge. Next up, we have here Eleanor Elderberry, who lives in Brightchester, the grandmother of a Sims 4 Survivor winner, of course, Rohan Elderberry. And her husband, Akram Elderberry, also competed on Mount Komorebi. Now we've got Crispin Black coming here from Nordhaven. He is the adopted father of Ollie Mark, who competed on Nordhaven. Also the roommate of Cannonball Coleman, who likewise competed on Nordhaven. Now we have Esther Gomez coming here from Ravenwood. Esther is another non-binary sim, but Sir uses the neo-pronouns Sir Sem, which I will try my best to honor that as well. But if I mess it up, apologies in advance. I'm not super familiar with that specific pronoun use, so I'm going to try my best. Then we have another sim coming from Nordhaven. We have Freya Loden, the granddaughter of Grandma Hattie, who just competed not too long ago, also on Nordhaven. And to round out the Nordhaven members on this tribe, we have Saint Amri, who honestly, I don't really know much about them. They are just here. And then finally for this tribe, we have Leanne Saja, who finally is making an appearance here on Sims 4 Survivor. I feel like she's been due. Her husband is like a 4-time player or something. Oh wait, actually he's just a 3-time player. Her husband, of course, being Alan Saja. But every single member of her family has competed. She is the daughter of Arturo and Chanlin, and her sister Teelin also competed a while ago. So it was time. It was time to bring Leanne on here. Then next up, we have the Dogs tribe, who again, should be pretty obvious where I'm getting the name from. First up, we have returning here Dwayne Tala, who originally competed on Granite Falls, was kind of quiet and became a pre-merge boot, and didn't really do all that much on that season. And then we have Maika Haas returning here from Strangerville. She is technically the first boot of Strangerville, although she was voted out second, but she lost the first duel at the secret lab. So yeah, she ended up being the first boot, but here she is. She's back. All right, let's get into the newbies. We've got Felix Hoffman, the grandson of Bruno Hoffman, who is a 2-time Sims 4 Survivor player now. Felix, of course, coming from Nordhaven. And another person coming from Nordhaven, we have Yolanda Koopman, the wife of Gert Koopman, who also competed on Nordhaven. And then to round up the Nordhaven Sims here, we've got Trashly Real Person, who is probably not a real person, and is, in fact, a bunch of raccoons stacked up in a code. Then we have, coming here from Ravenwood, we've got Lady Raven Dancer Goth, the long since past ancestor of the Goth family, and a master of the art of tarot. She's here. Then we have Monica Lopez coming here from Ciudad Enamorada. Her 2 children just competed on Blood vs. Water 2. So same as Leanne, it was probably time to bring Monica on here. And then the final member on the Dogs tribe, we have Sebastian Michelson, who is technically not from anywhere because he is a gallery exclusive sim. However, he is the father of Celeste Michelson, and I feel like he should be in the game, even though he's not, and it's a real shame. So we're just gonna say he's coming here from Sad Sequoia. That just makes sense. All right, that is our cast. Like I said, everybody is entering this game on even footing. Nobody has a boost to their stats. Nobody has any pre-established relationships entering the game. So it is basically just a newbie season. We are going to be following the China simulation, which I think is going to be a lot of fun. China, of course, being one of the more popular Survivor seasons. So yeah, without further ado, let's just start on episode number 1. All right, right off the bat, we've got an idol hidden. We've got nothing really happening on the beach, which is not surprising. And same thing going for the dog tribe, not really anything going on here. So we will just start on the first immunity of the season. We have the cats tribe winning immunity. They also win a piece of flint, good for them. We will start on their beach, let's see what's going on. We've got Daryl and Sane finding something in common, which has a lasting impact. All right, not really much going on here, but we'll see if this develops in any way. And then on the dogs tribe, we've got Monica and Trashley having a minor disagreement. And Felix and Maike having a major fight. Oh no. Some arguments going on here on the dogs tribe. This is gonna be not great for anyone involved here heading into tribal council. I imagine one of these 4 is gonna get the boot. So let's just go to tribal. All right, we got the dogs tribe here at their first tribal. We got Dwayne, Felix, Yolanda, Lady Raven Dancer, Maike, Monica, Sebastian, and Trashley. It is time to vote. And if anyone has a hidden immunity idol and would like to play it, now's the time to do so. Nobody stands up. I'll read the votes. First vote goes to Dwayne. 1 vote Dwayne. Second vote goes to Trashley. 1 vote Dwayne, 1 vote Trashley. 6 votes left. And the next vote goes to Trashley. That is 2 votes Trashley and 1 vote Dwayne. And the next vote goes to Dwayne. We're tied. 2 votes Dwayne, 2 votes Trashley. 4 votes left. And the next vote goes to Dwayne. 3 votes Dwayne, 2 votes Trashley, and 3 votes left. And the next vote goes to Dwayne. Oh no. It is not looking good for Dwayne here. It is 4 votes Dwayne, 2 votes Trashley, and 2 votes left. It can only tie at this point. But the first person voted out of Sims 4 Survivor Brindleton Bay, it is Dwayne Tala. Dwayne, the tribe has spoken. Surprising that he gets the boot here because he was not involved in those fights back at camp. But perhaps there's a little bit of a anti-returnee sentiment entering this season. The newbies, they want to get rid of the returnees. We'll see. We'll pay attention to how the other 3 do. Oh, it totally is. Look at this. Maike is the only other person to vote for Trashley with Dwayne. Otherwise, Felix, Yolanda, Lady Raven Dancer, Monica, Sebastian, and Trashley all vote for Dwayne. The newbies, they are taking over the game. They want to get rid of the returning players. All right. Unfortunate for Dwayne. He's out here. Let's move on to episode number 2. All right, dogs are down to 7 now. On the cat speech, we now have Sane and Daryl with a small bond after bonding in the last episode, and that's pretty much it. And then on the dogs tribe, we've got Maike and Felix with a medium dislike. We got Trashley and Felix with a medium dislike. And then not really anything. Reward is going to go to the dog tribe. And there is going to be a twist this season where the winning tribe, or like the tribe that wins the reward challenge, they can steal somebody from the other tribe and they will go back to the other tribe's camp. And I think just like chill there. I'm pretty sure they don't really do anything there. But they are going to take Sane over to their tribe. And we'll see what's going on. Sane, oh, they do get an idol clue, and they're going to give it to Monica, all right? Monica might be able to do something with that. And then we got Felix and Lady Raven Dancer bonding slightly. All right. But immunity is going to go to the Dogs tribe. So they're not going to go back to tribal. Good for them. On the cat's beach, we've got Freya and Sane bonding strongly, and they decide to form an alliance. It is Freya and Sane, obviously, and Sane pulls in Daryl, who they had been bonding with in the last episode, and then Crispin and Eleanor also get pulled into this alliance for some reason. I imagine this 5-sum is gonna control the vote tonight as well. Good for Daryl to get into an alliance so early because he could have been in trouble if the newbies just went full force against the returnees. But we also have Leanne resting at camp to restore her energy, alright? That could be bad, maybe Leanne is getting the boot. On the Dogs tribe, we've got Lady Raven Dancer and Monica bonding strongly, and they decide to form an alliance as well. So we've got Lady Raven Dancer, we've got Monica, and we've got Felix. I'm not sure why Felix is getting pulled into this. Wait, he was like bonding with Lady Raven Dancer, right? Yes, okay. So that makes sense. So that's presumably a strong 3-sum moving forward, I'm guessing. But they're not going to go to tribal tonight. We'll go to tribal with the Cats tribe. All right, Cat's tribe. They are here at their first tribal. We've got Crispin, Danny, Daryl, Eleanor, Esther, Freya, Leanne, and Sane. It is time to vote. And if anyone has a hidden immunity idol and would like to play it, now's the time to do so. Nobody stands up. I'll read the votes. First vote is Leanne. One vote, Leanne. She should not have been resting at camp. Next vote goes to Esther. That is one vote Esther, one vote Leanne. Next vote goes to Esther. Okay, maybe Leanne is not going to get the boot. We got 2 votes Esther, 1 vote Leanne, 5 votes left. And the next vote goes to Esther. That is 3 votes Esther, 1 vote Leanne, 4 votes left. And the next vote goes to Esther, 4 votes Esther, 1 vote Leanne, 3 votes left. And the second person voted out of Sims 4 Survivor, Brindleton Bay, it is Esther Gomez. Esther, the tribe has spoken. It is a unanimous vote. Not sure why they end up targeting Esther here, but okay, maybe Seer was just not well liked, or maybe it was because Seer is a ghost. Ghost prejudice here on Brindleton Bay, perhaps. Lady Raven Desert Goth, you gotta watch out. Alright, it is, as I said, a unanimous vote against Esther. Esther was for Leanne, but Seer is eliminated here. Very unfortunate. But honestly, kind of good for me, because now I don't have to worry too much about misgendering Sam. Alright, episode number 3. The tribes are even. On the Cat's tribe, we've got this new alliance here. We got Saint and Freya with an unbreakable relationship now. Wow, that was fast. I mean, looking at them, they definitely seem like 2 people who would vibe with one another, so sure, why not? We also have Saint and Daryl with their small bond. Leanne and Eleanor now with a small bond. Okay, so Eleanor may be the one who is saving Leanne here over Esther. We have Eleanor with a small bond toward Crispin. Crispin only with a slight bond toward Eleanor. And then we got Leanne and Donnie with a small bond. All right. Sane and Crispin with a small bond. And Freya and Daryl with a small bond. And then we got just slight bonds here at the end. A lot of people liking each other on this tribe. We've got like the Kumbaya tribe versus the other tribe, which everybody is arguing on that tribe. All right. On the Dogs tribe, we've got Felix finding the hidden immunity idol. Wow. Good for him. I mean, I don't think he really needs it because he is in this 3-person alliance, but he might need it later on in the game, so good for him. We've got Monica and Lady Raven Dancer with a medium bond, Maika and Felix with a medium dislike, Trashly and Felix with a medium dislike. Actually, Felix does have these medium dislikes, so he could be in some trouble. We got Lady Raven Dancer and Felix with a small bond, and then we got like nothing. Okay, so we basically just have this alliance and Felix's dislikes, and that's it. We'll go to reward. We've got the Dogs tribe winning reward. Again, good for them. They're gonna kidnap Daryl. Back at their camp, we've got Daryl giving the idol clue to Lady Raven Dancer. Okay. She is not gonna be able to do anything with that clue because Felix has found the idol, but that's okay. We got Monica and Trashly bonding slightly. Okay. Trashly may be realizing that they are in trouble now that they have pretty much just been arguing with people. Sees an opportunity to make some bonds here. Good for Trashly. We also have Monica resting at camp to restore her energy. That's a good idea heading into the immunity challenge, Monica. And we'll go to immunity. At the Cat's tribe, they win immunity. Monica's resting did not work out for her. But that's okay. On the Cat's tribe, we've got Eleanor and Sane having a small fight. And we have a new alliance. It is Danny Davila, it is Freya Loden, and Sane Amri. So Freya and Sane, they are forming another alliance, perhaps because Sane is having this argument with Eleanor, and they are in that bigger alliance together. So Sane kind of realizing that they would want to have something else going on. They go to the other NB person in the tribe, form something with them, and of course, is going to stick with their number 1 ally, Freya. We also have Crispin working hard at camp and becomes tired. Good for him. On the Dog's beach, we've got nothing. Okay. Is it just going to be Maika then? Potentially. Let's go to Tribal. All right, we got the Dogs. They're back. Back at Tribal. It is time to vote. And if anyone has a hidden immunity idol and would like to play it, now's the time to do so. Felix stands up. He is going to use his idol on himself. Wow, okay. I thought the 3-person alliance would have the control of the votes here, but apparently not. Anyone's cast against Felix will not count. I'll read the votes. First vote goes to Trashly. Oh. So Felix is wasting his idol here. That is unfortunate. The next vote goes to Yolanda. 1 vote Yolanda, 1 vote Trashly, and 5 votes left. And the next vote goes to Trashly. 2 votes Trashly, 1 vote Yolanda, 4 votes left. And the next vote goes to Trashly. That is 3 votes Trashly, 1 vote Yolanda, and 3 votes left. And the third person voted out of Sims 4 Survivor Brindleton Bay. It is Trashly. Trashly, the tribe has spoken. Unanimous vote. They did try to save themselves by cozying up to Monica, but it didn't work out. The damage had been done, and it was a little too late for them. Not sure why Felix is playing his idol, though. What is that all about? I don't know, but whatever. It's a unanimous vote against Trashly. Felix, Yolanda, Lady Raven Dancer, Maike, Monica, and Sebastian all vote for Trashly, and Trashly votes for Yolanda on their way out, and they're gone. So we will move on to episode number 4. On the Cat's Beach, we've got Eleanor finding the hidden immunity idol. Alright, that is good for Eleanor because she has been fighting with Sane, so this alliance is getting a little bit shaky. So it would be good to have a little bit of protection in her pocket. We've got this new alliance between Donnie, Freya, and Sane. Sane and Freya still have their unbreakable relationship. Sane and Daryl still only with a small bond. This has not moved at all, which is kind of weird. Sane and Eleanor now with a medium dislike after their fight. Then we got Leanne and Eleanor with a small bond. Sane and Crispin with a small bond. Leanne and Donnie with a small bond. And then we got Eleanor with a small bond toward Crispin. Crispin still only with a slight bond toward Eleanor. And then there's Freya and Daryl with a small bond. And Freya and Crispin with a medium dislike. I imagine that's not good for Crispin. Although, he does have this small bond with Sane. Perhaps Crispin sees his child in Sane a little bit. I mean, they're both like non-binary young kids. Although Sane is actually a young adult, not a teen. On the Dogs tribe, we now have Monica and Lady Raven Dancer with an unbreakable relationship. Alright, they still have this alliance with Felix. Felix now with a medium bond toward Monica. Monica only with a slight dislike toward Felix. What? Apparently Felix really underestimating how Monica feels about him. But okay. Lady Raven Dancer and Felix with a small bond also. Then we got Maike and Felix with a medium dislike. We got Monica and Yolanda with a small bond. And then we just got slight bonds, slight dislikes. Sebastian, very purple so far. I don't know what he's doing. I think he might be the next one to go if they lose. But it could also be Maike. Reward is going to go to the Dogs tribe. They are going to take Freya with them back to their beach. And there we've got Freya giving the clue to Yolanda. All right. We also have Maike and Sebastian with a minor disagreement, which has a lasting impact. Ooh, that's not good. Especially because a new alliance is formed. It is a 5-person majority alliance. It is Felix, Yolanda, Lady Raven Dancer, and Monica and Sebastian. So that is the threesome. They pull in Yolanda and Sebastian. Maike is done, I think. I don't see a world where she gets out of this. But something's going on with Felix. He's just chilling at camp, all right? But immunity is going to go to the Dog tribe. So Maike is surviving by the skin of her teeth here. She is going to be safe tonight. On the Cat's tribe, we've got Eleanor with Idol, and the 5-person alliance dissolves. Oh, that fight between Sane and Eleanor, it completely splits the tribe apart. That is not good, but thankfully for Freya and Sane, they still have their threesome with Donnie, so they could be fine. On the Dog's Beach, we've got Felix and Yolanda with a minor disagreement. The idol is not hidden, apparently. Why not? Felix used his. I don't know, but okay. We got Monica working hard at camp and becomes tired. All right, we got the Cat's tribe here. Back at Tribal. It is time to vote. And if anyone has a hidden immunity idol and would like to play it, now's the time to do so. Eleanor stands up. She is going to use her idol on herself. Any votes cast against Eleanor will not count. I will read the votes. First vote goes to Eleanor. Does not count. Eleanor. Does not count. Eleanor. Does not count. Eleanor. Does not count. Oh my god. Eleanor. Does not count. Wow. They were gunning for her. Saints impact. They wanted her gone, but she had that idol. Next vote goes to Leanne. 1 vote, Leanne. And 1 vote left. And the 4th person voted out of Sims 4 Survivor Brindleton Bay. It is Leanne. Leanne, the tribe has spoken, idled out of the game. Honestly, I think Leanne needed to do a little bit more work. We saw that she was kind of just chilling for a few episodes there in a row. I think she needed to get herself into some alliances. Perhaps cozy herself up to Eleanor a little bit more. And yeah, that's kind of it for Leanne's game. So it is Donnie, it's Daryl, it's Freya, it's Leanne, and Sane who vote for Eleanor. And then Crispin and Eleanor vote for Leanne. That could be a duo here forming on the Cat's tribe. All right, well, anyway, Leanne idled out of the game. We'll move on to episode number 5, where we have a twist. It is a tribe swap. However, this tribe swap is a little bit different. So both tribes are going to pick 2 members from the opposing tribe, which they perceive to be the strongest players on their tribe, and they will swap on over to the other tribe. And the Cat's tribe, they're gonna pick Lady, Raven Dancer, and Maika. That could be the saving grace for Maika. And then Dog's tribe is gonna pick Freya and Sane. So the duo, they stick together. Interesting. And we have new tribes on Cats remaining. We've got Crispin, we got Donnie, we got Daryl, we got Eleanor, and then joining them are Lady Raven Dancer and Maika. And then on the Dog's tribe, we have remaining here Felix, Yolanda, Monica, and Sebastian. And joining them, Freya and Sane. All right, interesting draw here. I'm curious to see what Maika is going to do here. Lady Raven Dancer could be screwed over here a little bit, but Eleanor did just, have to save herself with an idol. So I imagine that Donnie and Daryl could be in trouble as well. Because Eleanor and Crispin, they remain together and they could just link up with the dog members. All right, on the Cat's beach, we've got now Lady Raven Dancer. She is by herself. Donnie is by themselves as well. That is unfortunate. Eleanor and Crispin now with a small bond after that idol play. All right. And then we got actually nothing going on this beach. That is sad. All right, well, on the other tribe, we've got Sane and Freya with an unbreakable relationship. We got Monica and Felix with a medium bond. Okay, so Monica has turned around on Felix. Maybe now that she's lost Lady Raven Dancer Goth, then Monica's like, okay, I gotta commit to Felix. That makes sense. Then we've got not really anything here either. That is kind of funny. But let's go to immunity. The dog tribe, they win immunity. So Freya and Sane, they could have been screwed over here, but they are going to be safe. Let's see what's going on the Cat's tribe. We got Crispin with a major meltdown. Oh no. We also have Daryl chilling. He's just having a good time. Also, idols still not hidden. Did they not re-hide the idols? I guess not. On the dog's tribe, we have Monica with a major meltdown. Oh my god. Everybody's losing it. This tribe swap, it is getting to them. Monica, she does not like that she lost her #1 ally to the other tribe. She is worried for Lady Raven Dancer. But I don't think she has to worry too much. Perhaps. Although it could be a Lady Raven Dancer going home. I don't know. Let's go to tribal. All right, the new Cat's tribe. They are here at tribal. We got Crispin, Danny, Daryl, Eleanor, Lady Raven Dancer, and Maika. It is time to vote. And if anyone has a hidden immunity idol and would like to play it, now's the time to do so. Nobody stands up. I'll read the votes. First vote goes to Crispin. 1 vote, Crispin. Second vote goes to Crispin. That is 2 votes, Crispin. Third vote goes to Danny. We got 2 votes, Crispin, 1 vote, Danny. 3 votes left. And the next vote goes to Danny. We're tied. 2 votes, Crispin, 2 votes, Danny, 2 votes left. And the next vote goes to Crispin. That's 3 votes, Crispin, 2 votes, Danny, and 1 vote left. We could tie, or it's Crispin. And the 5th person voted out of Sims 4 Survivor Brindleton Bay, it is Crispin Black. Crispin, the tribe has spoken, shouldn't have had that major meltdown. I mean, I think he would have been fine. I think Eleanor would have been willing to work with him. I think perhaps the dog members would have been willing to work with them as well. And I imagine his major meltdown is what causes them to lose out here. So Eleanor perhaps getting a little bit screwed by her own ally. So it is Danny, Daryl, Eleanor, and Lady Raven Dancer who vote for Crispin. Okay. Eleanor, she turns on her own ally. Interesting. It is Crispin and Maika who vote for Danny. All right, that's kind of intriguing. Perhaps Eleanor, after the major meltdown, sees that Crispin is a sinking ship. She doesn't want to go down with the ship, so she turns on over to her former members on the Cat's tribe, Danny and Daryl. And they all agree that Crispin has to go, even though Danny and Daryl just tried to vote Eleanor out. But I mean, Eleanor's beef wasn't really with them. It was with Sane and by proxy Freya, I guess. Maybe the 3 of them can come back together. I don't know. Let's go to episode 6. All right, cats, they are down to 5 now. Dogs still at 6. On the Cat's tribe, we've got Daryl and Danny with a small bond now. Okay. Eleanor and Daryl with a small bond. Okay. So it is definitely Daryl who is bringing these former Cat's tribe members together. Eleanor and Danny do have a slight bond though, so that's something. Otherwise, we still got nothing else really developing here. I think Lady Raven Dancer and Maika could be screwed over if they lose again. But if they do win, then we are heading into the merge, so I think it might be fine. On the Dogs tribe, we've got Sane and Freya with an unbreakable relationship, Monica and Felix with their medium bond, Sane and Monica with a medium dislike now, after Monica had that major meltdown, I guess. And then we got Sane and Sebastian with a small bond, and then we just got slight bonds, slight dislikes. Yolanda is really starting to turn on Felix and Monica, which is not great because Yolanda is in this larger alliance. And Sebastian is feeling a little bit more loyal to Sane. So could this alliance break apart? I think it is highly likely. Reward is going to go to the Cats tribe. They win a tea house. And they are going to kidnap Sane. All right, what is Sane going to do with the idol clue? Even though there is no idol, they give it to Danny. That makes sense. Danny is in their alliance. Danny is impressing the rest of the team as well. And Daryl and Mike bond slightly, which has lots of impact. Okay, the former returnees perhaps realizing that they could be in danger, even though the returnees haven't really been targeted since Dwayne went out, right? Who is the other one? Who is the third? Danny, of course. Danny is still here, so yeah. But something's going on with the alliance. Danny's out, and Danny decides to form a new alliance. So it is Danny, it's Daryl, it's Eleanor. Yeah, that's the three people who just worked together on the last vote. That makes sense. So that is very interesting because we now have Danny turning on Freya and Sane, the final two, over, and they flip on over to Daryl and Eleanor. All right, that's going to be interesting entering the merge, probably. We also have Lady Raven Dancer working hard at camp and becomes tired. Good for her. Immunity goes to the Cats tribe. Congrats to these 5. They have made the merge. Micah just barely scraping past, I think. Although she was bonding with Daryl, so maybe it would have probably landed on Lady Raven Dancer. So good for her, I guess, because she is barely scraping by here. On the Cat's Beach, we've got Maika with a major meltdown. Oh no. We also have Lady Raven Dancer and Maika with a small fight. That's not great. I mean, I would have thought these two would have to work together, but I guess not. On the Dogs tribe, we've got Freya and Monica bonding strongly, which has a lasting impact. Okay. Look at Monica realizing that she probably needs something to happen. Or like that she needs to solidify some other bonds here. We also have Sebastian leaving the large alliance, the original Dogs alliance. Okay, I guess that's something. But also Sebastian working hard at camp becomes tired. Good for him. I think this is his boot episode probably. I think leaving the alliance is not great. I think Monica bonding with Freya is not great for him either. It could land on Yolanda though. I don't know. Let's go to tribal. All right, we've got the Dogs tribe here. Felix, Freya, Yolanda, Monica, Sebastian, and Sane. It is time to vote. And if anyone has a hidden immunity idol and would like to play it, now's the time to do so. Nobody stands up. I'll read the votes. First vote goes to Sebastian. 1 vote Sebastian. Next vote goes to Felix. 1 vote Felix, 1 vote Sebastian. And the next vote goes to Sebastian. 2 votes Sebastian, 1 vote Felix, 3 votes left. And the next one goes to Felix. We're tied. 2 votes Felix, 2 votes Sebastian, 2 votes left. And the next one goes to Sebastian. We got 3 votes Sebastian, 2 votes Felix, 1 vote left. It's either Sebastian or it's a tie. And the final vote goes to Felix. We are tied. So, of course, it is Sims 4 Survivor. We have to have a tie at least once. So we're going to do a revote. And the first vote on the revote is going to go to Felix. 1 vote Felix. Second vote goes to Felix. That is 2 votes Felix. 2 votes left. It's not looking good for Felix. And the 6th person voted out of Sims 4 Survivor, Brindleton Bay. It is Felix Hoffman. Felix, the tribe has spoken. His own alliance turned on him. I'm very surprised. Even Monica. Wow. Honestly, Felix was a little bit of a contentious character on this season. I felt like they were looking to be a pretty big presence on the season, but it didn't work out for them. He ends up getting the boot here. I think he just needed to lock in his allies a little bit more and he would have been fine, but unfortunately he goes out here. Monica turned on him and was willing to cut him. So it is Freya, Sebastian, and Sane who vote for Felix. Felix, Yolanda, and Monica vote for Sebastian. And then Yolanda and Monica both flip on the revote. Unfortunate for Felix. He goes out here and just barely does not make the merge. Because we're at episode number 7 where we have the merge. This is the Hamsters tribe. A little bit of my first pet stuff representation, I guess, even though that is the pack that shall not be named. But the people who make the merch are Danny Davila, Daryl Charm, Eleanor Elderberry, Freya Loden, Yolanda Koopman, Lady Ravendancer Goth, Micah Haas, Monica Lopez, Sebastian Michelson, and Zane Amri. Very fun final 10 here. I think we are in for a very interesting post-merge here. On the beach, we've got Lady Ravendancer and Monica in a final 2 now. Freya and Zane, they have their final 2. We've got Yolanda, Lady Ravendancer, and Monica in their 3-person alliance now. Now that Sebastian left it and Felix got eliminated. And then we got this 3-person alliance that just got formed, Danny, Daryl, and Eleanor. Now the question is going to be, will Danny turn back on over to Freya and Zane? Will they maybe double dip in alliances? We'll see. Unbreakable relationships are Zane and Freya and Monica and Lady Ravendancer. And then Maika with an extreme hatred toward Eleanor now. What? That is random. Eleanor with a strong dislike toward Maika. They did fight. No, wait. Maika fought with Lady Ravendancer. Why does Maika hate Eleanor? I don't know. But Zane with a strong dislike toward Monica, and Monica with a medium dislike towards Zane, which is interesting because Monica was bonding with Freya in the last episode. Lady Ravendancer and Daryl with a medium dislike, and then Zane and Daryl with a medium bond. Danny with a medium bond toward Maika after Maika had her major meltdown, right? And then Zane and Eleanor with a medium dislike. So much dislike on the board here. We are in for an explosive tribal. Immunity is going to go to Monica. Good for her. She's going to be safe here at the first tribal after the merge. On the beach, we've got Eleanor and Maika with a small fight, which has a lasting impact. Their hatred just expanding, I guess. And we've got Yolanda leaving the Lady Ravendancer and Monica plus Yolanda alliance. So the 5-person alliance, no more. It's just Lady Ravendancer and Monica now in a final 2. Sucks for them, but they've lost all their allies. However, we have a new alliance forming here at the merge. It's Danny, it's Daryl, it's Freya, it's Maika. What? And it's Zane. So Danny and Daryl, they were allied with Freya and Zane in the pre-merge, before Freya and Zane swapped on over to the Cats tribe. Or not the Cats tribe, the Dogs tribe is what I mean. And Maika, even though Maika had that dislike toward Daryl, I don't know. Maybe they just see that Maika has this disdain for Eleanor and they see that she could be an easy number for a vote. That would be my guess. I think Eleanor is in trouble. So yeah, let's go to tribal. All right, we got the Hamsters tribe here. We got Danny, we got Daryl, we got Eleanor, Freya, Yolanda, Lady Ravendancer, Maika, Monica, Sebastian, and Zane. Monica, she has the necklace, cannot be voted for. Everybody else is eligible. It is time to vote. And if anyone has a hidden immunity idol and would like to play it, now's the time to do so. I'm not even sure if there is an idol hidden, but nobody stands up. So I read the votes. First vote goes to Lady Ravendancer. 1 vote, Lady Ravendancer. Second vote goes to Sebastian. 1 vote, Lady Ravendancer, and 1 vote, Sebastian. The next vote goes to Zane. 1 vote, Lady Ravendancer, 1 vote, Sebastian, 1 vote, Zane, and 7 votes left. Messy vote turnout here. The next vote goes to Lady Ravendancer. 2 votes, Lady Ravendancer, 1 vote, Sebastian, 1 vote, Zane, and 6 votes left. And the next vote goes to Lady Ravendancer. So that is 3 votes, Lady Ravendancer, 1 vote, Sebastian, 1 vote, Zane, and 5 votes left. And the next vote goes to Lady Ravendancer. 4 votes, Lady Ravendancer, 1 vote, Sebastian, 1 vote, Zane, 4 votes left. And the next vote goes to Sebastian. We got 4 votes, Lady Ravendancer, 2 votes, Sebastian, 1 vote, Zane, and 3 votes left. It could still be Sebastian. And if Zane gets the last 3 votes, then they could also tie with Lady Ravendancer, I guess. And the next vote goes to Zane. So we got 4 votes, Lady Ravendancer, 2 votes, Sebastian, 2 votes, Zane, and 2 votes left. And the 7th person voted out Sims for Survivor Brindleton Bay, and first member of the jury, it is Lady Ravendancer Goth. Lady Ravendancer, the tribe has spoken. It is so hard to say her name so many times. So I'm kind of glad that she's gone now. But pretty smart by the newly formed 5-person alliance. They decide to cut off the final 2 of her and Monica. Just get rid of that threat immediately. So even though they didn't like Eleanor, they see a strategic benefit in keeping her around because she is not really allied with anybody. So makes sense. Makes sense to take out Lady Ravendancer here. It is Danny. It's Daryl, Eleanor, Yolanda, Maike, and Sebastian who vote out Lady Ravendancer. So that is actually not the alliance fully because Freya and Sane, they vote for Sebastian. Which is presumably a vote split. I mean, there is not an idol hidden, but perhaps they don't know about that, or perhaps there is an idol hidden. I'm not sure. We'll have to check on that when we go back to the beach. But Lady Ravendancer and Monica, they vote for Sane. So yeah, this is definitely a vote split. So like, if Lady Ravendancer had an idol or something, then she could have just idled out Sane here if they had not put 2 votes on Sebastian. So yeah, that makes sense. All right, well, we'll move on to episode number 8. We got the final 9 here, and we don't have an idol hidden. Interesting. So it's just going to be a traditional survivor game from here on. That's kind of fun. We got this final 2, now the only final 2 in the game, Freya and Sane. We got this 3-person alliance, and now we got this new 5-person alliance that just got formed. I don't think this is real. I think Maika is going to end up leaving that alliance, probably. And I think Donnie and Daryl are more loyal to Eleanor, potentially. I don't know. But Maika and Eleanor, they hate each other. We also have Freya and Sane with their unbreakable relationship. We have Sane and Daryl with a medium bond now. Okay. So they did bond in the first episode or the second episode. I don't remember. And then their relationship didn't really develop at all. But now it is developing again. So I guess that was just like set up for this. And we got Sane and Monica with a medium dislike, Sane and Eleanor with a medium dislike, and then Monica and Maike with a small bond, Eleanor and Daryl with a small bond, Maike and Daryl with a small bond, and Freya and Daryl with a small bond. Look at Daryl. Everybody likes Daryl, apparently. All right. This could honestly be his game to lose at this point. Because he is in this alliance, he's in this alliance. If he can just ride these out, I think he could just win. We'll see. Reward is going to go to Daryl, Freya, Maike, and Sane. There's a clue to the hidden immunity idol. There is no idol. But Yolanda does not participate and she cannot win. So that's sad. But immunity goes to Sebastian. I definitely think he might have needed it because he has no allies at the moment. So Sebastian potentially clutching it out here, saving himself for another day. On the beach, we've got Danny and Eleanor with a small fight. Oh no. And that causes Eleanor to leave the alliance. That is very unfortunate. I think Eleanor's done then. Or maybe Eleanor was already done and Danny just went to Eleanor, was like, sorry, it's you tonight. Not really anything I can do about it. You gotta go. And Eleanor obviously not happy with that. All right, well, we'll go to Tribal then. All right, Hamster's Tribe. They are here. We got the final 9. Sebastian has the necklace, cannot be voted for tonight. Everybody else is eligible. It is time to vote. And if anyone has a hidden immunity idol and would like to play it, now's the time to do so. Nobody stands up. I'll read the votes. Should I even be saying that? Because, like, there's no idol. I don't know. But anyway, first vote goes to Eleanor. 1 vote, Eleanor. Second vote goes to Eleanor. 2 was Eleanor. Next vote goes to Monica. 2 was Eleanor. 1 vote, Monica. 6 votes left. And the next vote goes to Eleanor. 3 votes, Eleanor. 1 vote, Monica. 5 votes left. And the next vote goes to Monica. That is 3 votes Eleanor, 2 votes Monica, and 4 votes left. And the next vote goes to Eleanor. 4 votes Eleanor, 2 votes Monica, 3 votes left. And the next vote goes to Monica. We got 4 votes Eleanor, 3 votes Monica, 2 votes left. It could still be Monica, actually. So the next vote goes to Monica. Oh. We got 4 votes Eleanor, 4 votes Monica. We're tied. And it's all going to come down to the final vote. And the 8th person voted out of Sims 4 Survivor Brindleton Bay, and second member of the jury is going to be Eleanor. Eleanor, the tribe has spoken. Not surprised by this outcome. Again, it could be a vote split because of the idol. I feel like they probably think there is an idol, but there is no idol. So yeah, I don't know. But yeah, Eleanor, she just had too many enemies in the game. I don't think she did herself any favors, but she, she held her own for a while. I think she was a very interesting player here on Brindleton Bay. She picked up a trick or two probably from her grandson. But yeah, it kind of crumbled down for her. Eleanor votes are Freya, Yolanda, Maike, Monica, and Sane. That is the alliance, right? Actually, no, because Danny and Daryl vote for Monica, and Eleanor and Sebastian vote with them. Definitely a vote split then, because Danny and Daryl, they are in that larger alliance. So yeah, that makes sense. All right, anyway, we'll move on to episode number 9. We got the final 8 here. On the beach, we've got now this final 2 alliance between Danny and Daryl. It's not even that strong, actually. I thought their relationship was a little bit better, but apparently not. We got Sane and Freya with an unbreakable relationship. I forgot to mention the alliance. That's still going. We got Sane and Daryl with a medium bond. We got Monica and Maika with a medium bond. And then Sane and Monica with a medium dislike. Monica and Freya with a small bond. Sebastian with a small bond towards Sane. And vice versa. Okay. And then Maika and Daryl with a small bond. Freya and Daryl with a small bond. And Sebastian and Freya with a medium dislike. Okay, so definitely Sebastian in trouble. Monica probably also in trouble. And I think Daryl and Sane having this medium bond is actually not good for Daryl. Because Sane could definitely win this game, and I think Daryl has to get rid of them. But will he do it? I don't know. Reward is gonna go to Freya, Monica, Sebastian, and Sane. All right, good for them. But immunity is gonna go to Sebastian again. Top piece of the season, maybe. Definitely the underdog of the season, because he has no business still being here. He has no allies. He's just copying his way to the end, potentially. I don't know. On the beach, we've got Yolanda and Monica with a small fight. It has a lasting impact. We got Danny and Sebastian finding something in common, which has a lasting impact as well. And then Maika and Monica, they decide to form a final 2. Interesting. That could save Monica, because Maika is in that larger alliance. And instead, the hit could go on Yolanda, because I don't think Yolanda has any allies either. Yolanda also very purple, so I would not be mad at seeing her go out of the game, to be honest. But we also have Danny, completely worn out, but is not giving up. Good for you, Danny. Keep going. Keep going strong. You got this. All right, at Tribal, we got the final 8 here. Sebastian, once again, has the necklace, cannot be voted for tonight. Everybody else is eligible. It is time to vote. And if anyone has a hidden immunity idol and would like to play it, now's the time to do so. Nobody stands up, obviously. I'll read the votes. First vote goes to Yolanda. 1 vote, Yolanda. Second vote goes to Monica. 1 vote, Yolanda. 1 vote, Monica. And 6 votes left. And the next vote goes to Yolanda. 2 votes, Yolanda. 1 vote, Monica. And the next vote goes to Yolanda. We got 3 votes, Yolanda. 1 vote, Monica. 4 votes left. And the next vote goes to Monica. So that is 3 votes Yolanda, 2 votes Monica, 3 votes left. Next vote goes to Monica. We're tied. 3 votes Yolanda, 3 votes Monica, 2 votes left. And the next vote goes to Monica. That is 4 votes Monica, 3 votes Yolanda, 1 vote left. We could tie or it's Monica. The final vote goes to Yolanda. We are tied. Another vote, again, probably a vote split. These people are so afraid of an idol that doesn't exist. But the first vote on the revote is going to go to Yolanda. 1 vote Yolanda. Second vote goes to Yolanda. That is 2 votes Yolanda. Third vote goes to Yolanda. 3 votes Yolanda. 3 votes left. And the 9th person voted out of Sims 4 survivor Brindleton Bay. And 3rd member of the jury, it is Yolanda. Yolanda, the tribe has spoken. Honestly, surprised it even became a tie there. I think it was just her time to go. Not sad to see her go. She was kind of giving nothing. So yeah, kind of funny because her husband also kind of gave nothing and went out in 8th place as well. Although he got rocked out of the game. So I guess this is technically better. Anyway, the Yolanda votes are Danny, Daryl, Maika, and Monica. And then Freya, Yolanda, Sebastian, and Sane vote for Monica. And then everybody flips on the revote. And Yolanda's gone. So RP. We move on to episode number 10, where we got this final 7 here. We are rapidly reaching the end here. On the beach, we've got these final 2 still. We now get a final 2 between Maika and Monica. And then we got this 5-person alliance. Sane and Freya with an unbreakable relationship still. Sane now with a strong bond toward Daryl. Okay. Daryl with a medium bond towards Sane, though. Monica and Maika have a medium bond. We have Sane and Monica with a medium dislike. Sane and Sebastian with a medium bond. Look at Sebastian. He's really trying to claw himself into this alliance with Sane and Freya, probably. Although Freya doesn't like him. So maybe not. But Sane could keep him around. We got Daryl and Danny with a medium bond. Monica and Freya with a small bond, Freya and Daryl with a small bond, And Maika and Daryl with small bond as well. So Daryl and Danny, their relationship, it is getting better. So I think they're trying to like fully solidify their final two at this point. I do think Daryl is seeing that Danny is a good person to take to the end because I don't think Danny is like the most well-liked player here on the board, but also I think Danny has done pretty well. I think they could win. Reward is going to go to Sane, and Sane is going to take his number one ally, Freya, and his other close ally, Daryl, with him on reward, and they get to stay at a temple. Which I guess we'll say they get to stay at the lighthouse in Brindleton Bay. So that's fun. But immunity is going to go to, is it going to be Sebastian again? We'll see. It's not. It is Freya, in which case it could be Sebastian going out, but I think it's probably going to be Monica, actually. We'll see. On the beach, we've got Sebastian impressing the rest of the team. Okay. Look at Sebastian. He's doing some work here. We also have Danny and Sane finding something in common. And that's it. All right. Well, we'll go to tribal. All right. We got the final 7 here. Freya has the necklace, cannot be voted for. Everybody else is eligible. It is time to vote. And if anyone has a hidden immunity idol and would like to play it, now's the time to do so. Nobody stands. I'll read the votes. First vote goes to Monica. 1 vote Monica. Second vote goes to Sebastian. 1 vote Monica, 1 vote Sebastian, 5 votes left. And the next vote goes to Monica. 2 votes Monica, 1 vote Sebastian, 4 votes left. And the next vote goes to Monica. That is 3 votes Monica, 1 vote Sebastian, 3 votes left. And the next vote goes to Sebastian. That is 3 votes Monica, 2 votes Sebastian, 2 votes left. And the 10th person voted out of Sims 4 Survivor, Brindleton Bay. And 4th member of the jury, it is Monica Lopez. Monica, the tribe has spoken. Really not surprising to see her go out here. I think voting for Sebastian was the only way to potentially save her. Because he did win 2 immunities, but I think Monica was just not ingratiated well enough into the tribe. And Sebastian did some good work back at the camp. So yeah, she gets the hit here. It is Danny, Daryl, Freya, Sebastian, and Sane who vote for Monica. Obviously, Maika and Monica vote for Sebastian. Maika is not going to turn on her number 1 ally. That makes sense. But Monica, she hung in there longer than I expected, actually. So good for her. But she goes out here. Episode 11. We've got the final 6 here. Sebastian probably needs to win immunity or he's done. But I also think Maika could be in trouble. Sebastian has been like bonding with Sane. So Sane might want to keep Sebastian around. I don't know. On the beach, we've got now Sebastian and Danny with an unbreakable relationship. What? Wow. Sebastian actually doing a lot of work. So maybe he's fine. We'll see. I mean, we'll see if this alliance actually sticks together or not. I feel like they are bound to break up because it's like not that strong. And also this is the final 6. And they are 5 of the final 6. But maybe not. Sane and Freya have an unbreakable relationship. Sane and Sebastian have a strong bond. Okay. Sane and Daryl with a strong bond also. And Sane and Donnie with a medium bond. Look at Sane. Doing a really good job. I think they could be a contender to win. At the moment, I think it is Sane. I think it's Daryl. I think it's Danny. And I think it's potentially Sebastian. And maybe Freya. But I think Maika is done. I think I just named everybody in the final 6. Aside from Maika. So, I don't know. Anybody here could win. Except for Maika. I don't think Maika is winning. But Sebastian and Maika with a medium bond. Daryl and Danny with a medium bond. Maika and Daryl with a medium bond. And Freya and Daryl with a small bond. All right. Reward is going to go to Daryl. Congrats to Daryl. He is going to take Sane and Maika on reward. Interesting. He does not take Danny, his number 1 ally. That is kind of wild. Especially because it's the loved ones visit. That could be contentious. The loved ones. For Daryl, I'm going to say Daryl brings his mother, Minerva. He could bring Gemma, also his sister, but actually, no. Of course, he brings Amelia, his fiance. What am I talking about? Maika only knows Ulrike Faust, so I guess she brings her. And Sane doesn't really know anybody. Like, Sane isn't a household on their own, but they are friends with Corey Nihus. So let's say Corey shows up. But immunity, is it going to go to Sebastian? Can he do it? No, Freya gets a second win. Good for her. Freya kind of starting to ramp up here at the end game. I'm not sure it's going to lead to a win for her, but it could. We'll see. On the beach, we've got Danny and Sane fighting something in common. Danny and Sebastian bonding strongly, which has a lasting impact. And Maika is out of the alliance. That is unsurprising, but that also probably saves Sebastian. I think Maika is just out here unanimously. All right, we're at tribal. We got Freya with the necklace. She cannot be voted for. It is time to vote. If anyone has a hidden immunity idol and would like to play it, now's the time to do so. Nobody stands up. I read the votes. First vote goes to Maika. 1 vote, Maika. Second vote goes to Sebastian. 1 vote, Maika, and 1 vote, Sebastian. And the next vote goes to Sebastian. Oh, 2 votes Sebastian, 1 vote Maika, 3 votes left. Are they actually taking out Sebastian? Next vote goes to Sebastian. Whoa. I thought it was gonna be unanimous against Maika, but wow. 3 votes Sebastian, 1 vote Maika, 2 votes left. And the next one goes to Maika. Are we tying here? Are they still afraid of this idol? Maybe. We got 3 votes Sebastian, 2 votes Maika, 1 vote left. It could be a tie or it could be Sebastian. We'll see. The final vote goes to the 11th person voted out of Sims 4 Survivor Brindleton base. 5th member of the jury. It is Sebastian. Sebastian, the tribe has spoken. Definitely the underdog of the season. I thought he was gonna survive this, but I think they were looking at his 2 immunity wins and were like, okay, Maika, even though we don't like her as much as Sebastian, she is not a threat. So we'll keep her around. We'll get rid of Sebastian. He can go. Who votes who? It is Danny, Daryl, Freya, and Maika who vote for Sebastian. And Sane is the only person to vote with Sebastian for Maika here. They did have like the best relationship with Sebastian. Actually, Danny had that unbreakable bond with him. Interesting. Okay. Well, anyway, we'll move on to episode number 12. We got the final 5 here. On the beach, we've got now these final 2 still. Freya and Sane, Danny and Daryl. And we got this alliance now down to 4, which is the 2 final 2s. Unbreakable relationships are Sane and Freya, and now Sane and Danny. Interesting. I guess, actually, Danny was in that final 3 with Sane and Freya at one point, right? Then we got Sane and Daryl with a strong bond, Maika and Daryl with a medium bond, Daryl and Danny with a medium bond, Freya and Daryl with a small bond, and then Freya and Danny with a slight dislike, and Maika and Danny with a slight bond. So Maika, if she does not win immunity, she's done. But I feel like these duos, they should be targeting one another. I think Maika should be the swing vote here, but I don't think she actually will be. That is going to be my guess. Reward is going to go to Sane. Sane is going to bring Freya and Danny with them on reward, all right? But immunity is going to go to Sane also. Wow. Big episode for Sane. So they're going to be safe tonight. On the beach, we've got Daryl and Freya with a small fight. Oh no. That's not good. Is this going to be enough to get the 2 duos to target one another? I don't know, but we also have Maika and Sane with a minor disagreement, which has a lasting impact. So I think Sane and Freya are definitely going to vote out Maika, but will Daryl and Danny now vote out Freya now that Daryl is having this fight with Freya? Maybe. Because also Freya has 1-2 immunity, so that would not be a bad shout, actually. Let's go to tribal. Let's see what happens. All right, we got the final 5 here. Sane has the necklace, cannot be voted for. Everybody else is eligible. It is time to vote. And the first vote goes to Maika. 1 vote, Maika. Second vote goes to Maika. 2 votes, Maika. 3 votes left. And the next vote goes to Freya. 2 votes, Maika. 1 vote, Freya. 2 votes left. And the 12th person voted out of Sims 4 Survivor, Brindleton Bay, and 6th member of the jury. It is Maika Haas. Maika, the tribe has spoken. The duos, they did stick together. And you know what? Maika had kind of a weird game. I feel like she should have been gone like episodes ago, but she was kind of just hanging in there by being attached to this alliance, but then she left that alliance and now she's gone, so yeah. Rip Maika. Unanimous vote against her. She was for Freya. And so I guess we have 2 duos entering the finale. This is veterans versus newbies all over again. May the best duo win, I guess. Let's just move on to the finale. All right, we've got the final 4 entering the finale here. We've got Danny Davila, who has had a very consistent game. They have maneuvered this game pretty well, have always had their finger on the pulse, have been jumping between different alliances wherever it was convenient for them, and was eventually able to stick with Daryl. I honestly think this final 4 is so tight. I don't really know who's gonna win. I don't really think anybody is really standing out above the others. So any one of these 4 could win. But next up, we've got Daryl Charm, Danny's #1 ally. Daryl has been a very good social player. I think he is probably the most well-liked player on this season, which does make me think that he has a very good shot at winning. I don't think anybody has disliked him at least, so there's a very good chance that he is going to be our winner here. Then we got Freya Loden, who has been physically the strongest of these four. However, I do think she has had the weakest social game. So I think she is going to have the hardest time making it to the final three, because I do think Danny and Daryl are going to target her, but we probably go to fire. So she could just win fire and make it there. But I also think she's going to have a hard time pleading her case to the jury. I don't think they are really rallying behind her. You never know. We'll see. And then we have who I think could also be a contender for the crown, Saint Amri. I think they could definitely win. They have had very strong relationships. They have had very strong strategic bonds as well. I think them and Daryl are probably the most likely winners here, but we'll see, I guess. It's still anybody's game. I have no idea. It's never been this tight before, I think. So let's just move on and see what happens here at the finale. One more person has to go before we head into Final Tribal Council with the final three. So we'll see what happens. On the hamster speech, we've got the final twos. We've got the four-person alliance. We've got Sane and Donnie with an unbreakable relationship. We've got Sane and Freya also with one. Sane and Daryl with a strong bond. Daryl and Donnie with a medium bond. Freya and Danny with a medium dislike. Oh, that comes out of nowhere. And then Freya and Daryl with a slight dislike. So you know what? Actually, Daryl could throw Danny under the bus because they are not that close. I do think Daryl does want Freya out though. But yeah, I don't know. Let's go to reward. We've got Sane winning reward. They are gonna take Danny with them on reward. Interesting. Very strategic move here to take Danny with them instead of their number one ally, Freya. They probably want to lock in their spot at the final three. But immunity, who is gonna take it? Can Freya get a third one? Or is it gonna be somebody else? It is Sane! Sane has their second immunity win here in a row as well. Everybody getting 2 immunities in a row. So good for them. They have officially made the final 3, in which case we're probably going to go into fire with Freya and I'm guessing Danny, probably. I don't know, because Sane does have an unbreakable relationship with Danny, so they might want to vote for Daryl instead. So it could just be Freya. Maybe Sane and Freya split their votes. We'll see. On the beach, we've got Freya and Sane finding something in common. Okay, maybe not. They discuss things. They're like, okay, we have to stick together. We gotta vote together. Which one do we take out? And also, Freya, super happy to see Sane making it to the end. We'll go to tribal. All right, final 4. They're here. Sane has the necklace. Cannot be voted for. Everybody else is eligible. It is time to vote. And the first vote goes to Danny. 1 vote Danny. Second vote goes to Danny. That's 2 votes Danny. 2 votes left. And the next vote goes to Freya. 2 votes Danny, 1 vote Freya, 1 vote left. Either it's a tie or it's Danny. And the final vote goes to Freya. Yeah. It is a tie. We will do a revote. The duos, they stick together. And the first vote on the revote goes to Freya. 1 vote Freya. And the second vote goes to Danny. So we are deadlocked. That is unsurprising. And so we will have fire making. Freya and Danny, they face each other. They have to make fire. The fastest person to make a fire stays. The loser has to go out. And the person who is eliminated via fire here at the final 4 is going to be Danny. Danny, the tribe has spoken. They almost made it to the end, but just barely did not. Same as their partner, Marissa Tracy, all the way back in Tartosa. So unfortunate for Danny, loses in fire here. I'm not sure Danny was gonna win anyway, so maybe it's just good for them to be the fallen angel here. But what a run for Danny. They did a great job. Glad that they were able to show what they got here on this return. But unfortunately, this season is not their season. All right, votes are as expected. The duos, they vote together. And unfortunately, Danny goes out in fire. And that's that. So we will go to Final Tribal Council. We got our final 3 here. Daryl Charm, Freya Loden, and Sane Amri. 3 very strong contenders for the crown. I think any single one of these could win. I think Sane is probably winning, but I'm not sure. We'll see. The three of them, they plead their case for why they should win. The 7-person jury, they all ask their questions and then they cast their votes for who they think should win. And it is time to crown another Sims 4 Survivor winner. The first vote goes to Daryl. 1 vote Daryl. Second vote goes to Sane. 1 vote Sane. Third vote is going to go to Freya. So we are tied. 1 vote Daryl, 1 vote Sane, 1 vote Freya, and 4 votes left. The fourth vote goes to Sane. That is 2 votes Sane, 1 vote Daryl, 1 vote Freya, 3 votes left. Fifth vote goes to Daryl. We are tied. 2 votes Daryl, 2 votes Sane, 1 vote Freya, and 2 votes left. And the sixth vote goes to Sane. That is 3 votes Sane, 2 votes Daryl, 1 vote Freya, only 1 vote left. Freya, unfortunately, has officially lost, but Daryl could still be in there. And the final vote goes to Daryl. We are tied between Daryl and Sane, in which case Freya becomes the final member of the jury and is going to cast the winning vote, which I think we all know where she's going to cast her vote. So let's just reveal it. The winner of Sims 4 Survivor Brindleton Bay is going to be Sane. Congratulations, Sane. They are the winner. Honestly, after Danny went out, they had pretty much won. Unless Daryl was going to be able to flip the vote who voted for Freya, which he was not able to. But as soon as they tied, there was no way. It was not going to be Sane. And they played a phenomenal game here. Very strong winner. Congratulations, Sane. The votes are as follows. We've got Eleanor, Yolanda, and Maike voting for Daryl. We've got Danny, Lady Raven Dancer, and Sebastian voting for Sane. And then Monica is the sole Freya vote. I guess that makes sense. Monica did bond with Freya at one point in the game. So yeah, sure. But the fan favorite is going to go to Yolanda. Not sure why. She did nothing and then was eliminated. I don't know. But okay, I guess. All right, well, that is our season. Here is our elimination order. We got in 16th, Dwayne Talla. In 15th, Esther Gomez. In 14th, Trashly Real Person. In 13th, Leanne Sadra. In 12th, Crispin Black. In 11th, Felix Hoffman. In 10th, Lady Raven Dancer Goth. In 9th, Eleanor Elderberry. In 8th, Yolanda Koopman. In 7th, Monica Lopez. In 6th, Sebastian Michelson. In 5th, Maike Haas. In 4th, Danny Davila. In 3rd, Freya Loden. Our runner-up, Daryl Charm. And our winner, Sane Amri. Most immunity wins are Sane with 3. Wait, Sane had 3? When? When did they have 3 wins? Immunity wins. When did that happen? I thought they just had 2. Did they win the first one? No, that was Monica. I don't know. But apparently Sane had 3 immunity wins. Okay, and then Freya had 2, Sebastian had 2, Monica 1. Most votes received was Monica with 13. Then we got Yolanda and Sebastian with 11. Eleanor had 10. Trashly had 8. Esther and Felix had 7. Dwayne, Freya, Lady Raven Dancer, and Maike had 6. Danny had 5. Crispin had 4. Leanne had 3. Sane had 2. And Daryl only had 1. Most strategic is Daryl number 1, then Freya number 2, and then Danny number 3. I think I would bump Freya off that list and put Sane in there, and then maybe put Sane number 4, but I think that is the correct top 4, at least. And it's kind of wild that they never re-hit an idol. I don't know why they didn't do that, but I guess in the early season, it was just like, these are the idols and there aren't going to be any other idols. So, sure, I don't know. But there you have it, that's our season. All hail our current reigning, Sane Amri. Phenomenal win for them. And the next season will be, of course, the upcoming All-Star season, All-Stars 4, where some of these players will come back. I've already sort of made up the cast, but let me know. I could be swayed. Let me know if there are any players that you would like to see from the past 7 seasons. I'm excited for the All-Star season. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to bring back some winners. We haven't done that in a while. Although I guess we did bring back Chasm, but that doesn't count. So yeah, thanks for watching. I will see you in All-Stars whenever that we get to that one. And yeah, that's it for me. See you then. Bye.